So next, we're going to come up with another industry expert presentation on hassle-free banking, transforming the digital customer services. And this is going to be from our sponsor, Outsystems. And we're going to hear from Richard Wilson, head of projects at thinkmoney, followed by some platform-related Q&A from there.
To be competitive and differentiated in today's world, you need to build software that is as unique as your business. This is where we can help. Our mission has always been to give every business the power to innovate through software. Because at Outsystems, we change the way software is built. Build it fast, build it right, but most important, build it so that it helps you constantly adapt to an unpredictable future.
I can sit down and write a Spring Boot application or an ASP.NET application and provide the value that the customer's looking for, but I can't do it as fast as I can with Outsystems.
When COVID-19 hit, we knew we had to help our customers find a place to get a test. That's not the easiest task. Our call center was struggling with a giant spreadsheet filled with testing information across the country. So that was our first app. Over the course of a weekend, we built a web app that replaced the spreadsheet. Next, we partnered up with cloud development resources to expand that spreadsheet app into a full suite of back office solutions.
One of the things I like most about the platform is that it keeps changing and evolving. That inspires me to keep learning and to keep evolving as well.
For us, it's really about giving you the power to be creative, and that's what Outsystems is all about.
Welcome to our webinar, Hassle-Free Banking, Transforming Digital Customer Services, where we will be discussing how thinkmoney transformed their digital customer services in only a few months, with a brand new onboarding journey and award-winning mobile app, leading to 30% increase in account openings and reduced call center staff intervention. To discuss these topics today, we're delighted to be joined by the extremely knowledgeable Rick Wilson, Head of Projects at thinkmoney. I'm Meredith Tufts, Senior Manager of Global Programs at Outsystems, and I'll be chairing today's discussion.
Okay, thanks Meredith. Hi, I'm Rick. I work for thinkmoney, a fintech bank based in Manchester, England. And today I'd just like to spend 20 minutes, half an hour, talking about the engagement between thinkmoney and Outsystems and how we embarked on a digital transformation journey. And I hope to bring to life some of the stories and the journey we went through. So who are thinkmoney?
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. You're welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could. Times are changing everywhere. Do we dream and do we dare? It's up to you, the door is open wide. Feel the rhythm of today, learn the part and join the play. The world is here, let's take it for a ride. You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could. Larger, larger than, bigger, bigger than, living hopes and dreams. Every boy and girl, higher, higher than, brighter, brighter than, all you wanted and you know. You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You can have
Okay, hopefully that painted a picture of Think Money, its people and its culture. You should have seen a vibrant environment, which started with the Think Money and the Outsystems relationship. That was the first step on our journey back in December 2018. Okay, what you should have seen in there on those clips were huddles, visual plans, activity areas, collaborative teams, and those practices and those ways of working had the root in this digital transformation program that we undertook. Well, where were we as an organisation before this program started? We were in a position of frustration, really. So internally, we couldn't really react to any customer feedback. Externally, because our customers had a suboptimal experience, this led to a feeling of unease within the company that we couldn't meet our customers' objectives. We aspire to be a digitally-led business, self-servicing customers receiving regular enhancements to the everyday banking journey. But we weren't there. We were quite a way away from that picture. So what we needed to do as an organisation was move away from being a telephony-based organisation where 65,000 customer telephone calls were being received every month for simple things like setting up new faster payments, balances. We had limited digital autonomy. Everything we did, we needed to engage a third party to deliver functionality. And what that resulted in was a limited experience of agile delivery. We were very much a waterfall-driven organisation. As a customer, our digital proposition was quite feature-poor. We only had 5 features in the app. And I've just mentioned that if somebody wanted to create a new faster payment or a new payee, they had to ring up to our contact centre, often ended up in lengthy queues. And as a result of this, we'd only done 4 App Store deployments in 3 years. And what this meant as a colleague was not only the frustration that we couldn't react to what our customers wanted, but we had limited native app experience, limited IT technology experience in the digital space. And ultimately, if we think of these project levers of time, cost and quality, and the agile principle that you can flex either of those levers to achieve your ultimate goals, we weren't in a position to do that. So quality, we released it very infrequently, so we had an outdated proposition. From a time perspective, it was very sequential and waterfall. If we had an idea, we wanted to achieve something, we had to raise a change request, a statement of work to a third party. That often went through rounds of cost challenge and negotiation before ultimately we agreed a price. Then there was a project plan created, and some weeks, or in case months later, we received the finished product for us to do user acceptance testing. It was quite costly. Every engagement had to be commercially agreed, and because of the lengthy delivery timescales, ultimately the return on investment was quite low for Think Money. So this was why we ultimately reached out to Outsystems to power our transformation. And also, I think it's important to say here, what we didn't want was just somebody to come in and rebuild a new platform for us, but we needed somebody, and that was Outsystems, to educate our people and bring us along on the journey so that ultimately we became autonomous. So the challenges we faced in the early stages, at the very early stages after we signed the contract with Outsystems, was we need to start listening to our customers, understanding what our customers are saying and what they needed, looking at App Store feedback, looking at social media. And so one of the things that Christos brought in for us was to implement a test ground mentality. So we started to create prototypes and put those through research laboratories, both for existing customers and new customers. And this influenced the work that we were going to proceed with Outsystems. We needed to establish a new ways of working. So what became clear very early in the relationship was that we needed to embed agile delivery teams, deliver quick, deliver fast. So quite often when we were challenged with delivering, say, 20 new features, those 20 features would be delivered all at once. We quickly needed to work to a new way of working where we might deliver 4 features, then another 4 features, and then another 4 features. And that was quite a cultural change for our organisation. The biggest challenge we had, and this was a big challenge, we needed to build the right team. So the Outsystems team educated us right at the outset on the roles and the personas that we needed to include within the project. Key roles such as Scrum Masters and Product Owners, UX Design Experts, and we didn't have some of these roles in place at that point in time. We had Project Managers, not Scrum Masters. Our Product Owners, the SMEs, were operational managers that sat in contact centres. And from a developer perspective, I've already mentioned that we didn't have digital expertise. So what we had to do was go through a recruitment exercise. We partnered with a local tech firm where we recruited some new, young, aspiring but talented developers, and their placement on this program was their first exposure to digital development in their working lives. We seconded internally, so subject matter experts within our operations department became product owners and were upskilled and guided through that process by the Outsystems team. And our project managers, where two of our project managers became Scrum Masters, and that then transitioned from being people that were worked by the plans and the detail that was in it to more servant leadership. Once those teams have been recruited, they need to be trained and embedded into the organisation. And that meant learning new technology, Outsystems technology and thinkmoney back-end technology, and all the interfaces into the various platforms. And again, we were guided by the Outsystems team to go through an upskilling program that lasted all the way through the program. And ultimately, as we were building that new technology, we were doing that with a new delivery process, which delivered frequently and fast. So that's all fine. We've built the right team, or we had the challenge of building the right team. We had to train them, and we had to gather customer feedback. But all that had to be done with quite stringent timescales. You know, the first deployment needs to be there within 7 weeks. We need to replace our mobile banking app within 14 weeks, and replace our servicing proposition within 26 weeks. And these weren't just dates that we put out thin air. These were mandated by contracts coming to an end with existing suppliers and aggressive business growth plans. So we needed the technology in there. So the things that we couldn't previously do, but we now can do with the new Outsystems platform, is react quickly to new pieces of work that come in. So running concurrently with our digital transformation programme was the EU regulatory change, PSD2, where we had to integrate biometrics via an SDK into the app. You know, we were able to do that, but with the training and the education that we were given by the Outsystems team, and build that into our delivery plan. Previously, deployments were a convoluted process. They took up to a day. Quite often, there was outage, and it was customer impacting outage. We're now in a position where we can deploy within minutes, and there's no impact to our customers. We monitor our feedback from customers in the app now, and if there's something significant in there, that can go on a product backlog that we didn't previously have, and can be built into the next sprint cycle. I think it's worth saying at this point that we knew we truly arrived as an agile team on the days after we launched our mobile app, and we got some feedback from a customer that said we should have a log out button on that page, which we didn't have. Now, rather than raising a change request and going through a convoluted waterfall process, we were able to create a user story and build that user story and deploy it within 5 days, and that to us told us that we truly arrived. And we're quite adept now at creating prototypes and demonstrating those ideas and getting customer feedback before we launch. All these were things that winding the clock back a year we couldn't do. As we were going through that journey, there were cultural challenges, the definition of MVP. And I've just mentioned that we went live with 16 new features. Previously, those 16 features would have been deployed all together in a big bang implementation with a quite heavy schedule of events. Now we were educated and guided to piecemeal delivery, trying to deliver features at a time. And that was an education process that started within the teams, but ultimately all the way up to the exec as well. And one important thing I've put at the bottom of this slide is the constant feeding of that backlog. So quite often in our old world, when we delivered projects, a whole team would then simply move on to another project. Where we are now, we go through a sprint and we deliver a sprint. In the outset, it was, well, what now? And we quickly realised that product backlog needs to be populated with user stories that are understandable and agreed, so that as the next sprint starts, we can start to deliver again quickly. So our ongoing challenges, and most of these aren't platform-based, but outside of low code, we are now starting to improve our native code understanding, so that we can do better integrations with third parties and embed SDKs. We have had a few of those to do recently. For example, we've just started to introduce artificial intelligence into our journey, the ability to do selfies, and we've been guided by the Outsystems team on our guided success program to enable us to do that. We would also like now to embed into our process more frequent performance and user and security testing. So build secure and test as we go. So as we went through the digital transformation program, much of our testing was manual based, and that wasn't a problem. We were well organised and we got there, but we appreciate the efficiencies of doing automated testing, and that's something that's on our roadmap. So what did we do? So I think these images bring to life what we did do. So we created a new current-account onboarding journey. We started from scratch, from design right through from build, implementation and test to create a new online onboarding journey. And we also replaced our mobile banking apps and replaced our desktop servicing applications. And how did we do it? So we set up 2 new delivery teams, and based on the guidance that we received from the Outsystems team in terms of personas, roles and responsibilities, we set up 2 new teams, one for onboarding and one for servicing. And those teams encompass the traditional agile roles. So each had a product owner, each had a scrum master, each had 2 developers. We had UX designers and quality assurance analysts. And those people worked hand in glove, sat side by side. We moved away from the old practice of working in silos, and there was questioning and feedback through the day, and we truly did become a close-knit team. And what that meant was that from 6 weeks to recruiting some of these new colleagues, they were up to full speed in developing low code, and were able to take on and build new tickets. And we ultimately built 3 applications on time and on budget. So post Outsystems shadowing phase, this is where we felt we were truly autonomous. We've been through the handover process. So some of the things we've now been able to do is we've made tweaks and enhancements to our onboarding journey, so that what used to be a 5-minute journey is now a 2-minute journey, and customers can get a sort code and account number within minutes of starting the application and start to use their account. We're quite proficient now at integrating with third parties. I've just mentioned the artificial intelligence and the selfie functionality that we've embedded, and that's resulted in us creating new APIs for new features. We're now on the cusp of replacing all our text messaging functionality with push notifications, and we're constantly reacting to customer staff feedback and feeding our product backlog with new ideas. So having been through that process, what did it really mean? So it's great that we recruited people. It's great that we delivered this new functionality on time and on budget. And there's some stats on this slide that we're really proud of. So we did 5 App Store deployments within 3 months of going live with our new applications. If you wind back to the infrequent launches that we did before we embarked on this program, that's quite remarkable. We went from 5 to 25 app features within 16 weeks. Our customers were all as autonomous as we were in the thinkmoney offices. 93% of our customer activity started to come through digital channels, not the telephony channels. We were able to retire previous digital banking platform technology that we had with third parties, saving thinkmoney up to £300,000 per annum. And really importantly, acquisition marketing costs reduced by 21%. We're really proud of some of the banking tech awards that we've both been nominated for and won. And on the 8th of December last year, we were very proud to receive the Banking Technology Award for one of the best digital transformation programs, where we fought off some stiff competition from other fintech partners. And you can see there the happy team on the left, and that takes pride of place now on the first floor of thinkmoney. Okay, our future plans. So we want to continue to iterate with increased app journeys, more products and new services. We have done that ever since we went live with our new product, but our roadmap grows and grows, and we'd just like to continue to develop that application to keep pace with our competitors. We need to continue to attract great new digital talent. I mentioned before we've partnered with organisations locally, and we continue to do that. We'd like to increase automation for quicker delivery, so that's testing automation, security automation, and ultimately all this will enable us to deliver quicker. We want to double the conversion of customers who start the application to those who use the account, and all this will be enabled by reducing friction that's in the journey. And that friction within the journey comes from constant prototype testing and constant feedback from our customers. And our ultimate goal is to become an everyday bank for the underserved and the underbanked, and create a brilliant banking for those people. And we feel now we've got that technology in our power. We're autonomous, which 18 months ago we weren't. Okay, so just like now to just maybe bring to life some of the things I've just been talking about with a short demonstration of the functionality within our mobile banking app.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could. Yeah. Times are changing everywhere. Do we dream and do we dare? It's up to you. The door is open wide. Feel the rhythm of today. Learn a part and join the play. The world is here. Let's take it for a ride. You could be larger.
Okay, I'd just like to conclude this webinar with just some notes that were in the final readiness pack that was produced by Outsystems at the end of the shadowing program. And a headline at the beginning of that pack is that thinkmoney is better prepared, and we consider thinkmoney to be autonomous, which was our ultimate goal. And some metrics that we can quote is that from starting with no experience of digital delivery, in this program we delivered more than 200 stories across 9 development sprints, which was more than 640 hours of coding activity across mobile and web functionality. And we participated in more than 100 daily scrums, which brings to life the fact that we were changing our ways of working, and approximately 99% of our testing scripts passed. So it's something that we're really proud of, and I think the Outsystems thinkmoney relationship was just a fantastic journey.
So I want to thank Rick Wilson again for taking the time to share thinkmoney's story. Before we wrap up, I want to invite everyone in our audience to sign up for an Outsystems personal environment where you can build your own applications. It's free forever, and you'll get your first app built in just a few minutes. Outsystems is the most advanced low-code platform ideal for IT leaders and developers. If you want to experience low-code firsthand and meet with Outsystems developers, join one of our Outsystems Live events being held worldwide. Outsystems Live will help you learn what it's really like to build software with a low-code platform and the sorts of problems you can solve when there are no limits. Have a great rest of the day.
This is Outsystems, the most complete full-stack application development platform for professional developers. Quickly create mobile and web applications, chatbots, and reactive web apps for any device. Build your data models, workflows, logic, and pixel-perfect user interfaces and interactions, and even add your custom code, all inside the most advanced IDE. Integrate any system and source of data and publish with a click. Get more done with Outsystems.
All right. Well, joined here today from Outsystems with Brittney Dunham, the account executive, or an account executive. I assume you have more than one, as well as Russell Youngblood, a senior solutions architect with Outsystems as well. And so welcome. Impressive video there showing what was done. We want to go a few minutes here and go a little bit deeper into this. And let's start with the notion of a low-code platform. Now, I hear about them all the time. And one of the things I wonder is we talked earlier today that a customized customer experience is a better customer experience. And so I think it'd be natural to worry about if you had a low-code system, are you really limited? Is your customer experience going to look just like your competitors? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, Brittney, I'll answer that one if it's okay. So we can't speak for all low-code platforms, but with the Outsystems platform, one of the benefits is that it's fully customizable. So you can build mobile and web applications very quickly, and we have customers from all different industries that need to customize those applications. So it is wide open as far as customization. You can customize the user experience, look and feel of the applications that you build, and customize it to whatever your needs may be. So it's one of the things that we specialize in.
Oh, great, good. Well, one of the things that we've talked a lot about today in some of the earlier sessions is we're talking about moving to digital. And how do you measure success? I mean, there's a lot of different ways potentially. I realize there's not one answer, but what's your advice to organizations that are looking to move to more of a digital experience? What should they be looking at in terms of metrics?
Yeah, so happy to answer that one. There's a number of different metrics you could look at, and it ultimately depends on what your business objectives are. But what we've seen from some of our customers, they measure the success of their customer experiences by looking at customer satisfaction scores or net promoter scores, looking at churn rate or retention rate, or even the customer lifetime value. All of those are metrics that we see our customers consistently aligning to measure their customer experience.
I'm really glad you put it that way, because we've spent the last year interviewing over 100 people in customer experience, and a lot of them gravitate towards the first two things you mentioned, net promoter score, customer satisfaction. Mm-hmm. While the executives say that's cute, I'm more interested in the other part. So you can go a little bit deeper what you've seen work well. When you talk about churn, customer lifetime value, if you can go a little bit deeper on that, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So, actually a great example with thinkmoney right there, they were noticing that, their onboarding, this is slightly different than the churn rate piece, but they noticed that the onboarding was one of the biggest problems to actually getting their customers on, right? And then retaining those customers, right? So creating that seamless digital onboarding experience was able to allow them to improve their retention rates and increase the number of account openings as well.
Well, that's a great example. In fact, we found the same thing. We do a lot of work in journeys. We found in banking specifically that onboarding journey is a real moment of truth, that if it goes well, your customers are more likely to get a second, a third account from you, more likely to come to you for more of their business. If it doesn't go well, you're kind of stuck in secondary bank status.
Exactly, Jim.
So now let's go into so let's say somebody's interested in this. I want to build this idea of doing like they did and quickly launching. And so I'm thinking about putting in a low code platform. Well, where do I start? What's that beginning look like?
Sure. Would you like me to take that one, Brittney?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. Sure. Yeah. So, with any new technology, there's always a little bit of a ramp time and a learning period, right? But what's really nice about our platform is it's a full stack platform. So you can get started and you can deploy applications very quickly. We have online free learning resources. We are able to work directly with our customers and help them create a roadmap. And typically we're seeing some really nice applications being built in just a matter of weeks, right? Plus we have a network of hundreds of partners that can also step in and help the adoption as teams are learning Outsystems and beginning to build applications. So it's really actually impressive the types of applications that we're seeing built in a couple of months right now. So,
all right. Well, somebody says I'm interested. Hey, I'd like to get started. Can we start at say 4 o'clock today, or is it more like December? Tell me more about getting started.
Yeah, sure. So there is a period of time where we would need to allocate the resources in the platform and set up the server, but it's a matter of days, right? What we're talking about is a couple of days. We typically deploy the platform in the cloud, but there's very, very flexible ways in which we can deploy the platform. So we're talking a matter of a couple of days, actually.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So if folks want to learn more about this, they really get excited about this. Obviously, you have a booth here today. It'd be a great chance for them to learn a little bit more. In fact, we recommend you visit all the sponsors, and they can really help you learn more about how to deploy this, as well as, a chance to win some gift cards by, passing the tests. So Brittney, Russell, thank you so much for both your time here today, as well as being a sponsor of the event.
Excellent.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Have a great afternoon.
You bet.
You as well.
You too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.